In my last video, I shared with you my planner stack that I was convinced would be my forever stack. In this video, I'm going to go into my planner and daily journal in a little bit more detail and share with you how it's already changed since I filmed the last video. My original plan with this book was that it would be my main book with a planner, journal, and memory keeper all in one. I have 2 weeks in here, so this was my dual weeks setup with a insert that I created myself just for 1 day a page journaling. Had this all in a standard size TN. You can see that it is a bit big, but it actually didn't bother me too much. I really enjoyed being able to use this TN. So what has changed? Very, very quickly, I felt like I had too much weeks. It was just too many week spreads. The idea with this was that it would be my memory keeper. I was going to fill out a little memory each day and then put in a photo collage on this page. I got like 2 weeks in here. I didn't even put in the photo collage, and it just didn't click. So I took to Instagram, got all of yours advice, and the advice that I took is that it was supposed to be fun. And this didn't feel right, so why push it? This is a fun hobby. There's no reason to force anything. So I decided to put this aside for a week, see how that felt, and very quickly I realized that that was the right choice. It just wasn't clicking for me. So I was left with this week's, which I'm using as my main planner, and this insert that the idea originally was it was going to be daily, like a daily bullet journal, and it very quickly evolved into just a daily brain dump of stream of consciousness, kind of just a way to clear my head. I mostly did 1 page a day. Sometimes I would backfill if I missed a day. I really enjoy writing in it horizontally. Put some stickers in here. So this is really just for fun. I don't know if I'm going to continue to use it. I think there's a good chance that when I'm finished with this insert, I will just solely use my, I call it my ultra chunk journal. So we'll see. It is kind of nice to just have a very unintimidating day a page that I need to fill up. But I don't know that I necessarily need this when I could just pull out my journal. So for now, I'm keeping this tucked in to the back of this week's. And I actually decided to ditch the standard cover. I really enjoyed it, but with just one, it doesn't really make sense. What I ended up doing instead was punching a hole in this clear cover and putting my own elastic in. It's a little janky right now, but I've really been liking it. It's been working actually pretty well. And then I just tuck this in the back cover here, and it adds a little bit of bulk, but I don't really mind. It's nice to have it kind of self-contained like that. So let's get into this guy a little bit. I washi taped up this front spread. I realized later that I actually used the exact same washi tape for my journal. It's just awesome. I love it so much, so I'm not surprised that I accidentally used it twice. It looks nice in my opinion. I like to keep the decoration of these cover pages pretty simple. I actually glued together that first weird page, and I really enjoy it because I like being able to open up directly to this page. I tuck in some tarot cards here, so it's nice to have sort of some simple but rotating decor. In this first spread, I printed these from online. I wish that I knew where I got them from, but I kind of put those together, put together my own holiday and birthday list that'll just be easy to print out every year. And my idea here is that I will be tracking the weather based on different colors per day. I like this because I don't need to have my pens out all the time. I can just sort of backfill and look up the weather and just kind of do it, all in one batch. I have the same sort of idea going on here where I can I'm filling in my mood as well as my cycle and tracking a couple different things here with different icons. But what I'm doing is on a weekly basis, I'm actually filling in my mood and those icons here so that I don't need to pull out my pen every single day, but I can backfill in these colors. So then my monthly, I don't know how I'm going to use this page yet. This last month, I played around with just sort of throwing in a little note for each day. This feels very memory keeping-y, so that may go in my new memory keeper. I don't know yet. I'll play around with this again in January and let you all know where I end up. So then in the weeks, I am basically using this as a personal planner, and I also have my work activities in here. I mostly use Notion for work, but I find that it is sort of nice to just have a few tasks written down so I can know exactly what my focus is each day, but the majority of that planning happens in Notion. I track my days of my cycle here, what phase we're in, what moon phase we're in. I pull a tarot card each week, and then I actually journal about that in the back here. And then I have these sort of 3 areas of my life. This is heavily inspired and ripped off from Rachel Stephan and her constellation system, so definitely go and check her out. If anyone's interested, I can do a deeper dive into how I use the system for myself. But the shorthand here is I have these 3 different sort of areas of my life, and then each one of those corresponds with a column here. These columns are basically like rapid log dailies from the bullet journal method, where I will do tasks and then notes, and then here I am also have events and any activities that I need to do, errands to run, stuff like that. My original plan with this column was that I would choose a focus each week and then rotate through what I'm using this for. This week I was using it to track nutrition. I don't think I'm gonna end up sticking with that long term, but I may use this as a little bit more of goal planning in the future. I'll let you know how that one turns out. And then I do have some notes pages back here, just an inbox, and then things that I want to remember, songs that I was making up for my son. And then I have some tasks that I want to do monthly, some kind of goal type tasks, how I'm using my books. So I'll continue to just use these as notes pages as they come up. So since I dumped my cat's weeks as my memory keeper, I needed a new memory keeping space. In 2023, I played around with an A6 Techo. I backfilled almost all of this, so it wasn't really something I was keeping up throughout the year, but I wanted to see how it felt to do day-a-page memory keeping here. And I liked it a lot, and so my original plan was to use a Han, and this just didn't feel right. Similarly to how this week's didn't feel right. What's funny is that this cat pattern is actually the reason why I picked up Hobonichi in the first place this year. For some reason, this just called to me, and then I had to figure out how to make my system work, and I fell down the rabbit hole of going full-blown Hobonichi, partially because of this pattern. Ironically, I'm not going to end up using, I don't think, either of these, so if anyone is looking for an A6 or weeks, I'll probably be letting these go. I am really happy with the style that I did end up with, but I do love this cat's. So what I ended up doing instead, I realized that the reason why the Han wasn't clicking was it just didn't fit right in my insert. It felt too big. I really like how simple this is. It almost just feels like a craft book, and I don't know what it is about it. So spur of the moment, I ended up ordering an 2024 Techo A6. I have it in a cover here, but this is just the original. I ended up getting the Japanese version because it came faster through Amazon. I didn't want to have to wait until January to get this book. So I'm gonna start using this as a day-a-page memory keeper. I'll put photos in here. I really like Martha Plan's style, so I'm thinking that that's what I'll use this for. I'll do another flip through of this once I start using it to kind of show you exactly how I'm using the different spreads, but that's the idea with my memory keeping setup. So I'm still have my 4 books. I've simplified a little bit. I sadly had to nix my dual setup that I will miss and I was so very excited about, but this is feeling good. I am mostly reaching for these 2 every day, and I then have my journal and my reference book. Thanks for watching, and hope you all have a great new year.